Hi everyone. So, in this video, as my introduction to trigonometric functions, what I'm going to be covering is this thing called periodic behavior. So before I sort of get into like the nitty-gritty of like sine and cosine, those functions and all that, this video will be going through some very important definitions and some fundamental ideas that you'll see will be relevant a bit later on down the track. So the first thing we're going to be covering is what a period is, or a periodic function. Periodic function basically means that it is a function that indefinitely repeats. And that's pretty much anything that just has the same repeat indefinitely, and the intervals between each one's always the same. So if we think about a generic wave function, if this is our x-axis and this is our y-axis, this would be considered periodic because it repeats itself. It goes up and down, then does the same thing, up, down. So the period size would be this. The full length from the start of a repeat to the start of the next repeat. So this gap between here and here, that length is known as the period because that is the gap between when it starts and when it ends. The next thing we're going to be covering is how this wave function here sort of goes up and down, and that's known as an oscillation. An oscillation is like a regular up and down behavior. Up and down behavior. And this oscillation will be happening, it'll sort of be going up and down, but it'll be going through this thing called the principal axis, and that is known as the middle of the function. So as we can see, it goes up, goes to the middle, goes down, goes back to the middle, goes up, down, up, down. So the principal axis is basically the midline of the oscillations. Now the next definition, I know I'm sort of loading a lot of definitions, I just want to sort of get these over with, get these ideas sort of fundamentally put there so that it'll make my coverage of trigonometry a bit easier in future. Now the next thing we have is, in any wave, we have a maximum and a minimum function. That's also known as peaks and troughs. Now the next thing that I also need to cover is we have a thing called an amplitude. An amplitude is basically just the length from the midline to a peak or a trough. The amplitude should be the same regardless because it's the distance from the middle. So the distance from the middle to the top and the bottom should be the same. But either way, these are both amplitudes. Amplitude here and amplitude here. The distance from the midline or the principal axis to a peak or trough doesn't matter. It should be the same either way. And another fundamental idea is that if we looked at the distance from the top down all the way down to the bottom, that should just be two amplitudes because we have one amplitude going from the top to the middle, then another amplitude to go from the middle down to the bottom. So we can also say the amplitude is equal to the maximum point minus the minimum point all over 2. Because let's say, for example, this over here was 10 and this over here is 3. The gap between the two would be 7. But we said that is 2 amplitudes. So it'd be 7 divided by 2 to find the amplitude length. Now what I'm going to do is I'm sort of going to go through a few specific questions that I think sort of examine this idea. Now the first question I'm going to say is, which of these show periodic behavior? Remember, a periodic behavior is anything that has repeats of the unit. So if we look at the first one, we can see that it repeats, because if I go from here over to here, we have a zigzag up, down. If you look, we have up, down again, another up, down, another up, down. So this one does exhibit periodic behavior. Put it in green, and the period length, the length from one repeat to the next is, so we can see it starts at 0 and goes to 2. So the repeat length is 2. We look at this one, part B. Once again, we have a repeat. It goes like up, then up, then up, then up. We can see it's just repeating. It's doing the same thing. So we know this over here does exhibit periodic behavior, and the period length goes from 0 to 3. So it's a period length of 3. Now if we look at C, we can see that sort of goes up like that, down, across, and up. But we can see that exact shape repeats again. Up, down, 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 up. There we go. So we can see it repeats over here to here, then again here to here, so on and so forth. So this one also has periodic behavior. So far, A, B, and C have all had periodic behavior. And in this case, the period length is 3, because that is from the start to the start of the next period. If you look at D though, D sort of looks like it has periodic behavior. However, we can see the y coordinates are not the same. So here, the y coordinates are 0, but here, the y coordinate is 1, and then 2, and then 3. So we can see that there seems to be no repeat. The y coordinates are not the same because it's being shifted up every time it like repeats the same shape. Well, in these ones, the y coordinates and everything were identical. All it was doing was just doing the same pattern over and over and over again. But with this one, the y coordinate is being shifted up, so that is not an identical repeat. Therefore, no, we'll draw a cross through it because it does not. This one does seem like it has it because it starts here, goes up, down, as a repeat, up, down, repeat, up, down, presumably. So this one does. And the period length is 10, because that is when it starts going through here, then goes up, down, then it does another up, down. So we can see the length from the start to finish is 10. This one does actually also have periodic behavior. As we can see, it goes up, zigzag, down, then up, zigzag, down. So once again, this one also has periodic behavior. The period is going from here until 4. G does not have periodic behavior. It does have the same like shape, like the zigzag. However, as we can see, the y coordinate is changing. For this one, the y coordinates were the same in that up-down thing, as we can see. Y coordinates were all the same. Here, even same here, the y coordinates were still the same. However, this one, no, the y coordinates are being shifted up. So, because of that, there is no periodicity. Similarly over here, there is still that up-down pattern, but the y coordinates are changing within each cycle, within each up-down motion. So therefore, it is not periodic. Now, as a bonus, what I'm also going to do is I'm also going to go through what the principal axis is for certain wave functions and what the amplitude is. Now, for the focus of this question, I'm not really going to go through the weird ones like these and these, but I do want to focus on this wave function over here. So, as you remember, or may not have remembered, that's totally cool either way, I said that we have an oscillation behavior for waves. And as we can see, that this does have that oscillation behavior because it's going up and down regularly above a certain midline. Now, as we can see, that midline is roughly the x-axis. So therefore, the x-axis is going to be the principal axis. So this over here, that is the principal axis. So that's the equation. That horizontal, that straight line, that is known as y equals 0, the principal axis, and that is known as the principal axis in the case of this question. Now, the amplitude, if you may remember, is the distance from the principal axis to the peak or trough. Now, peaks are at the top, troughs are at the bottom. Either way, distance from here to here, that's an amplitude. Similarly, here from here, that's an amplitude. Either way, we have shown using this very basic graph that we have an amplitude and a period, and the period length is 10 because that is the distance from start to the finish. Now, if there were coordinates here, let's say I decided to add some in. Let's say I added in that this coordinate here is 5 and that is -5. Either way, the distance from the midline, y equals 0, up to the top, which is 5, we can say that the amplitude would be 5. Similarly, the distance from the midline down to -5 is still 5. So the amplitude is still 5 going from here down. And we could also still use our formula. If you remember my formula, I said that it is the maximum minus the minimum divided by 2. And we can just see that here. Maximum 5 minus minimum, so that's 5 minus 5, which is 10. Divide that by 2 is 5. So either way, all those different methods, they can get you the amplitude. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this question over here, which is to draw a scatter diagram for each of these two data plots and then determine if they are periodic. So what I'm going to do is, to get our scatter plot, I could draw it by hand, but I'm going to do the calculator because I just think that's easier for teaching purposes. I'm going to get rid of all this old data from some older video and put in all of our X list over here in list 1. Oops. Okay, now that I've got that, I'm going to go graph, check that my set is scatter for graph 1. Yep, it is. Great. So go graph 1. Scatter plot, and we can see this seems to roughly follow periodic behavior because it seems to start going up, down, end here, and then do another start up, down. As we can also see, we can see the principal axis is roughly the x-axis, as we can see, because it seems like it's the middle of that up and down. And then we can see it goes up to roughly 1.4 and down to 1.4. So that should be the amplitude from the principal axis. So as we can see, 1 does seem to have periodic behavior. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all this data and then do question 2. So I'll put all the numbers in. Okay, now we put that all in. Once again, we can go graph 1, and we can see that whilst it does have that regular up-down motion, the y coordinates are being changed, they're shifting up. So therefore, this one does not have periodic behavior because it's not like repeating identically. Repeating identically means it stays the same horizontally. But this one does not, therefore there is no periodic behavior. There's no amplitude because the principal axis is not a straight horizontal line. So that concludes my coverage of like the definitions. In my next video, I'll be covering a bit more like applying it to sine and the cosine graphs. So I'll see you all in the next video.